I guess we're live now, so I just got us into trouble.
No, they love Red Bull's crazy, man. They love sponsoring stuff. They're a media company that also sells drinks.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's always fun seeing whatever absurd challenge that pops up in my feed every few weeks. Like Red Bull has really gotten bigger and bigger for that over the years. Like that's most of what Red Bull is known for, I feel like.
How much would they pay to tattoo their logo on my forehead? How much would they? Give me some numbers.
Well, so funny thing about Red Bull, there's the Coke company that owns like Coke, Sprite, and 20 different labels. There's Pepsi, and they all own like, fast food joints, blah, blah, blah. And then there's just Red Bull that just sells, and they're the third largest drink supplier.
Wow.
And that's it. Just Red Bull.
Wow.
Like no
Do they
other
even have
brand.
extra flavors, or is it just one flavor?
No, they every season they come out with a new flavor, and then they have like their green, blue, red, like their staple extra flavors. Yeah.
They call colors flavors? Or are
there's like watermelon, blueberry.
Okay.
That's right. I just call them, it's red for me. When someone's like, what Red Bull do you drink? Give me the red one.
Yeah. That's funny. Well, it's always got to be like, ultra melon or something like that, or just ridiculous beach. And it's like, what does that even mean?
No, Red Bull keeps it plain. Watermelon, blueberry, they don't go too crazy.
Apart from the inhuman stunts that pop up in my feed every few weeks, I think Red Bull's smartest marketing decision of the last few years is to really expand with this diversity of flavors. I've become a big Red Bull guy in the last few years myself. Like, I used to think of it as just the one original electric, overly sugary original flavor, but yeah, now that they've got a bunch of fruity variety, it's easy to forget that you're drinking something that's deeply toxic.
Yeah, Nikki she said it's bad for your kid. And I'd watched Hot Tub Time Machine again, and they get it becomes a time machine because they have that Russian energy drink they pour into it called Chernobyl. It's like they said the ingredient that was in it is like tricadium or whatever. Yeah. So
I don't care if they put uranium in this stuff. I'm drinking it every morning. I'm going for it. I'm probably popping one in the afternoon.
Oh man!
They know.
Well, the world's gonna end before you do, probably.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
That's the good side of the end of the world. Woohoo! Yeah.
If I have to worry about retirement at 70, all of my predictions were wrong. Like all my predictions were wrong.
They're like, damn it, I lived. I made it.
Oh man, I'm still here. Yeah, that's gonna be rough.
Yeah, I would be blindsided a little bit if I made it that far, to be honest. I'm not fully expecting to make it beyond 50, 60.
I know a lot of people in their 30s that do, man. That's like the comment, like, oh, let's hope we don't have to think about that. Oh man.
Oh boy.
Well, commiserating about the state of the world with us today is Joe Adams.
Hi, everybody.
He's a returning guest on our show, and I know Substack isn't your main focus these days, but if there's anything that you're working on or want to introduce, feel free to go ahead.
There is. I started a Substack project a couple months ago, and I thought, I'm going to go live and do these narrative stories, and it sucked so hard. Episode 1 was so bad, and I bombed so miserably. But I learned so much about myself, the story development process, the technology involved, the streaming, the setup, the whole, from a geek perspective, I went crazy and I built a website. I had a branding for the story. I didn't realize GoSpaceNavy.com was available, so I bought it and had a parody of those 90s Go Army recruiting websites set up. To forward to the Substack. Yeah. No, it was it's a whole deal. And I got so nerdy into that side of it. And then I just completely bombed on episode 1 and hated the process. But that being said, it inspired so much for me as far as if I really do chew on a better story, and if I really do chew on character development and learn a little bit more, there's probably something to this. So the failure became an education.
Yeah, they all are. See?
It became a turning point of there might be something to this. So I say all that to say, although I'm not announcing anything super right now, I have not given up on story development. In fact, if anything, I've learned so much now that I want to try. I've learned so much now that I want to try.
I made a whole choose your own adventure story once with HTML, a really basic web page. I'm going to make, and it was really hard because you had to remember all these links and put them all together, and you had to do all the storylines. But I'm just of course, 2 people visited the site, but I'm just it's actually really funny though, but oh well. It's because of the algorithms.
There's a YouTube series that did that. There's a
Oh.
YouTube series where it was a choose your own adventure almost, and it would be, okay, if this, go to this video, if that, go to that video. You had to make hundreds of videos
Yeah,
and
yeah, that's what
coordinate
you
them and
find
link
out.
them.
The
Oh,
character always died in mine. There was no way to win it. That was the problem, but the 2 or 3
well,
people that played it thought it was funny.
Was
but
there an
yeah, man,
overlap with Goosebumps for you guys? Did you also read Goosebumps growing up or
I
no?
grew up in the 90s. Yeah,
I
I mean, I
didn't read
had
Okay,
to.
yeah,
Goosebumps,
yeah.
yeah.
There,
I
there were a
didn't
Mental
couple of
remember
those.
reading.
There were a couple of those choose your adventure, like flip to page
Yeah,
36 if you want to do this, and flip to
yeah.
page 152 if you want to do this. And it
There
was
were
a
these
little bit
Indiana Jones
confusing, but it was
ones.
a lot of fun.
Yeah, they were kinda there was these
Yeah.
Indiana Jones ones that I used to read. I liked those. There was a space one, but that kinda went away. I guess because 'cause they're so
Yeah.
darn hard to write. Yeah.
No, but I remember that as a kid. So thank you for that introduction, Ben. At some point in the future, next time I come on the podcast, I'll have a project for you.
Oh,
Awesome.
but
Looking
can
forward
we
to
hear
it.
at least? I mean, did you at least record one of your episodes of your story or not?
It was I live broadcasted one on my Substack. It's still up there because failures should never be forgotten. And I just nerded out about technical details. Like I did so much work mocking up a spaceship and thinking about time dilation and doing all this really nerdy stuff that like by the time I launched, I was realizing like, wow, I planned an entire like mission set and didn't do any of the work on what the characters would even feel like. So I
Yeah.
realized that ADHD took me down a direction and I need
You
to
went
rein
down
that
a
in.
rabbit hole. Well, that's yeah,
Yeah.
that's like people have that problem like with world building. And it's like you don't have to worry about how the sewer system of your fantasy city is gonna work. It's just why is your thief character got somebody chasing him? That's all you need to worry
I
about.
spent a lot of time in the sewers. All
Yeah.
right. Sewers,
What
conduits,
doesn't make
air
sense to have a
conditioning.
city right here? There's no river to feed the city. It doesn't have
That's
any. Yeah, that's
the meters and diameter of the circumference of the ring that would create the artificial gravity took like 6 weeks. That took a while.
oh, you're sitting there doing math. I'm like, I'm just
Oh,
trying
I
to write a
know.
book.
Yeah.
Cosine of the negative.
There was a lot of math. There was a lot of math. Nobody cares, but there was
Well,
a lot of math.
speaking of math, I guess you wanted to talk about Project Hail Mary, right? I guess we
Oh, I
go
love
to that.
project. I know. Yeah, I'm ready to go into that if
Yeah,
you guys want.
do it, do it. Let's get started.
I have a Thursday crew I hang out with every Thursday. We got Regal Unlimited, and we just go see whatever garbage is in the movie theater now, and it's so
Oh
psychologically
gosh,
refreshing. But
That's awesome.
a book I read Project Hail Mary a while ago and got really excited to go see that movie and forced friends to go see it, and I loved it. It was just oh, it was so nice. It was just fast. It just kept moving. Like there was no downtime. Everything kept progressing forward. And if you read the book, it was a joy because even though you knew it was coming, watching it happen was still so much fun. Like it was just nice to see. And I liked how they played with time, his memory a little bit. I liked how they exposed a little more.
oh yeah,
It wasn't super goofy as far as like unrealistic. Like, yeah, we don't have that type of space travel right now because of the propulsion, but Andy Weir actually met with several scientists, did some pretty good calculations. I know that stuff was reviewed. Like he got some of the numbers wrong, but he's an author, not a scientist. So like he did go to as much effort as possible to make you think about space travel. Like when it's doing the centrifuge to force the gravity, like that's a real problem you just deal with in space. Is how do we get them into a lab where we can do science? Well, we've got to create gravity, and that's one of the ways to do it. So like I love that. It's not just the Star Wars press the gravity button, gravity works.
oh
Like
yeah, yeah. Where it's a World War II movie in space, but
yeah. Yeah, no. So I know that other people had other opinions. I want to hear yours, but it was a sit back, enjoy, and just relax and have a fun time movie for me. That's the way I felt it was.
I'm a little curious how much of you think your enjoyment stemmed from having actually read the book beforehand, because my other good friend who did read the book before seeing the movie actually enjoyed it quite a bit, and
Mhm.
he also is very mathematically oriented, and he spoke so highly of it that I went in with quite high expectations that weren't quite met in the same way that Interstellar managed for me.
I think Interstellar and this were two different stories.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is Interstellar almost was philosophical
Mhm.
and this was practical.
Yep.
This is just life sucks, get through it. You're probably going to die, but just go ahead anyway. You know what I mean? It was very much a figure it out, move along. If you're a nerdy guy like me, it's oh my goodness, it's a be smart and survive. Oh, sure. I love that. No physical strength efforts here. He's very uncoordinated on spacewalks. He's falling all over the place. His hair's a mess. But the science got there. And they're like, oh, that so validates me. That's so validating for me.
That is a nice way of putting it. I found it like a comfort food movie, and we went with the kids, and you're watching it. It's like, this is nice, and I'm like, there better not be like, because whenever I take the kids to a movie, if it's like a movie about a dog and like the dog gets separated, and the kid spends, and then like the dog dies, you're like, why did we come and do this? The kids are all mad. So, but it isn't. It's one of those where you're worried, and then it just keeps building, and it's nice. And I want to give Weir credit because he is very good at his initial narrative hook. He's one of the best in the business at it, both with The Martian. That was him too, right? Where it's just like,
Yes, sir.
I'm fucked. And it's like, oh, why is he fucked? Awesome. It's like you instantly got the people asking. And then he like in that one, he's just like, why am I waking up on a spaceship? And he's like, and I shouldn't be here. And it's like, well, wait, this guy's very highly educated. He's just not educated in the way, which I think ties into your point. Because it's like education is good. No matter what you're applying it to, you get yourself in a situation. It's like, I'm not prepared for this, but I have the tools of an education. I can teach myself at least. And so he's doing things like teaching the language to the rock creature. And it's just like, and they cut out like that would be tedious. It's like, oh, in the source of a montage, he's got this. It's like, this took you months to get to this point,
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I don't mean that as a negative though. I just mean that as like, this is how inspiring it is. I mean, Doctor Strange is kind of that way too. That's one of the things I really liked about the original Doctor Strange, where he's just like, he's a doctor. And then he's like, she knocks him out of his body. He's like, teach me. He's like, teach me. And I've known that feeling. It's like, you go from being like this arrogant person because you know of your abilities. Then you find something that's like just beyond anything you knew. Teach me, please. And then you become humble. And humility is what we lack in our society now. So I think it does emphasize those things.
Well, yeah, I mean, so be careful of spoilers for those of you that are out there. There's things in that movie that show up that make him feel stupid at times. He goes, in comparison to this, I am silly. And yet here is this other thing showing me things and being well more aware. And yet in other ways, they lack knowledge. So it's like, okay, I can see how bidirectionally it was one of those things where it's like, no, we can help each other grow. We can exchange ideas. We can continue to survive. Like Interstellar was a sit down, think, feel movie. This was a cherry Coke, popcorn, 2 hour, you know what I mean? Like take your hat off and relax. So I think I appreciate Interstellar because it was more of a feeler, and this was more of a work sucked this week. I want to go have fun. Ryan Gosling is going to go up in space. You know what I mean? Like it was just a different vibe. But to your point, I brought a lot of people that didn't read the book, that have no interest in sci-fi, and they went, it was all right, which is fine for me. You know what I mean? Like it was hey, let's watch this and then go to dinner. And that's exactly what we did, and it worked.
Something I really liked about Interstellar's approach to extraterrestrial life is that they leave it as mysterious as possible. The creatures or whatever they are remain bodiless, and that enigma is so humbling. And I think that it starts off very interesting in Project Hail Mary, and then they reduce it so much in my eyes by having that ship be helmeted by this rocky creature.
Are we going full talking?
I
don't want. Okay, I don't want to spoil the. Okay, there's this like one Sixth Sense esque twist.
Well, I mean, we knew there was a
to spoil
rocky,
but but yeah, we could talk about it's like mild.
We can be mild spoilers, I guess. That's fair,
okay,
mild.
I don't mind talking about the rocky creature, for example. Like there's this creature on this alien ship that becomes friends with the protagonist, and he doesn't speak English or anything, obviously, and they try to figure out some mode of communication between the two of them. And for me, it was a part of the plot that didn't land terribly well.
Oh, you didn't Yeah, well, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Walter. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, well, I think a lot of the stuff is not necessarily a spoiler because we should be building up interest in the movie with some of the things that we're saying. Yeah. But I do really like that point of emphasis of we have to learn to work with people from a radically different and diverse background. And I think that's the point of that really is the message of this era that we're going through right now. It's like, I'm freaking out. Let's see what The Rock has to say. It's just sort of like, in the past, I didn't view that as a person. Now I need some help from this Rock. And I think that's
all the Rock can say is this.
Yeah. Don't you like that is what it's saying. It's like, okay, I am listening to you for the first time. And just like and a really kind of, but it's not a preachy. I didn't feel it was a preachy movie at all, but it is. It does do that emphasis of just desperation. What do I do? Where can I find help? And it's just
So if you
look in the place
notice,
you never thought to look. Yeah, go ahead.
if you notice, Andy Weir and I actually come from the same political background. We're
Ah,
both public libertarians. And it's very, both stories, Martian and Hail Mary, are self-reliant stories.
Mhm.
Now, it still took the governments in both story to unite, but you notice it was world governments united together. It wasn't like America first or this first. In both stories, every government had to cooperate, but it relied upon the individual not giving up and saying, if I want to not die and I want to help, this move forward, I got to pull myself up. I got to get together. I got to go. And I got to sacrifice. I got to reach out to that side. I got to do what I can. And he tries to tell stories like that. He tries to tell stories where it's not necessarily a preaching message as much as it is no, get out there and do it.
hmm.
Go for it. And we like watching those stories of people just, I got to use what I have to keep going.
Mhm.
So was The Martian also a movie you enjoyed quite a bit?
Loved it. Loved it except for one part of that movie. There's only one part of that movie that bothered me.
What part?
Um,
Is mild spoiler again? I mean, that movie's
no,
10 years old. Go ahead.
and so with The Martian, there's not enough of an atmosphere on Mars for a windstorm to be that bad. And because of the radiation on Mars, even the dust particles that he was planting in are toxic, radioactive, and so the whole growing on Earth, they covered over a lot. And he admits this. He's like, I'm skipping so much. So to your point with the language scene, that was my frustration with The Martian initially. Is we're skipping like 20 steps here. But he makes the point that
Yeah.
a botanist would know and would go through and would secure and do XYZ. So like in the end result's the same. They just like jump to, oh yeah, we'll put potato in ground and now fine. And we'll cover it in poop. Okay. No, they're skipping like 20 biodiversity steps, but the end result they got there. They're just making it fast and entertaining. And in the book, they do a better job. Going back later, reading the book, they do a way better job. So I almost had a Ben experience with The Martian. My first go, I was like, this is hard to buy. But then jumping into the book, I'm like, oh no, that's for creative reasons to keep the story moving. And then I started to accept it more. And once I got to there, I was like, oh no, this is really cool. It's actually enjoyable. So like, I like it. To me, they didn't feel preachy either. Like I didn't get a particular vibe of like, this is one way or the other.
It's always funny whenever movies do that montage device. My mind immediately goes to the South Park montage song.
Yeah.
Not sure if you're
That's
familiar or
one of
not.
the,
But
everybody knows that.
absolutely nails it. Like I can't watch a movie without whenever that scene comes up without immediately just going to South Park.
Yeah. Gosh, we go back to Team America every now and then with the kids. And the kids, I mean, it's really upsetting. Kids, even, I got a sophomore and a seventh grader, and politics just crushes them. And they found cathartic relief in watching Team America.
Yeah.
My friends ask me constantly for my commentary on the world politics. And I'm like, guys, I can't watch that show anymore. I had to unsubscribe. Like, I just can't.
On which show? On South Park or something?
No. Politics, like the news.
Oh, yeah.
I hear you.
It is so hard to keep up
You
with.
can't unsubscribe. Yeah, it's
I know,
knocking at your door. Yeah.
Oh, it's coming through from every angle, which is why this is one of my favorite podcasts to do.
Yeah.
Because
We're trying to get
because
away from it. And even here it encroaches upon us. But it's like,
Yeah.
what do they say? If you don't do politics, politics will do you. It's
Will
kind
do
of
you.
the thing.
No, so I have a great segue for us. Last night I watched Mortal Kombat 2.
Okay.
It was trashy. It was terrible, and I loved it so much. It was so great. The plot was awful.
Keith Urban, right? The guy from The Lord of the Rings. He's in it. The guy who played Judge Dredd. Isn't he in it?
So yeah, the guy from Lord of the Rings that played one of the horse guards.
Yeah.
That's also in The Boys.
Judge Dredd. Yeah.
And the Judge Dredd, right?
Urban.
So he's Johnny Cage. I couldn't name a single other actor in the movie.
Yeah, I love those.
Except for the great grandfather of Scorpion was played by the guy that did a very famous Chinese actor that would be recognized immediately, and that's about it. But it was just stupid. It was great. The plot was irrelevant. Nobody cares. Like, my friend's like, oh, did you watch number 1 first? I'm like, no, it's Mortal Kombat. I'm going to see Mortal Kombat. Like, nobody cares. And
Yeah.
we had a great time.
That's like
Absolutely
Yeah.
great time.
when Shoot 'em Up came out a long time ago with Clive Owen. I was just like, this is exactly what I like because it's just so ridiculous, you know. And it's,
Yeah.
he's eating
Yeah.
carrots because he's a marksman and he wants his eyesight to be good. So he's always like chomping on carrots. It's like, that's ridiculous. It's also kind of fucking awesome. And he kills
It
a
is.
person with a carrot at some point. He jams a
Did you
carrot into his
know?
head.
Did you
So-
know that that was a World War II piece of propaganda we spread?
Oh, okay. So I had heard it's so that's not true.
So
It
what
doesn't make
happened
it seem
was the world wasn't aware of radar yet. So we let it slip that we fed our pilots carrots to improve their night vision, whereas in reality, we'd started targeting using radar, and we'd started tracking planes using radar. And because all that was still classified, we had to come up with a reason for why we knew when their planes took off and we were getting so accurate at night. Because we could track ours with radar, know where they were, and knew when we were over target.
That's
So we were like, oh, we eat carrots a lot. We've discovered it improves night. It was all just it was a psyop created by us to hide
that's
radar.
hilarious. Well, that
Yep.
probably adds to because rabbits can't eat carrots, like, and
Correct.
it's only because of Bugs Bunny, and that just relates to this old movie where this guy was constantly eating carrots. So maybe he was constantly eating carrots in that movie because of what you just said.
Well, it wasn't. They didn't come out with that until
Carrots.
recently. We didn't know that wasn't even a propaganda piece until it was declassified. I think in like the 90s or
Oh,
afterwards.
but
So,
what I mean is because in that time they would have been, I'm eating carrots all the time, because there's this video they were showing it. I watched something. This guy's just like he was acting just like Bugs Bunny and eating carrots. It was just sort of
Yep.
like
a lot of propaganda came out through cartoons, and that's the way we use. I mean, it's so interesting to we said no politics and immediately jumped into a politics, but like
well, media is
no, that one's an interesting one. I didn't realize that till very recently.
politics from 100 years ago is still on the table, right? Because it doesn't affect us. Go ahead, Ben.
So
You
on
had something to say.
on the thread of mindless entertainment, my recent totally mindless fun theatrical experience. I forget if I briefly talked about it before. Super Mario Galaxy. It was a video game that I played so much growing up. Truly one of my favorite video games of all time. So admittedly, I am right squarely in the middle of that target demographic. It's not a movie that was terrifically well rated, but it was exactly what I wanted it to be, and it was pretty in line with the first of the Mario movies and the Sonic movies too. In that way, like none of these video game movies are particularly deep, at least that I've seen just yet. But they're almost invariably just fun uses of an hour or two. Like I've yet to see one that I had a bad time with.
How much would you hate if Mario and Luigi spent 20 minutes at a diner discussing their relationship issues?
Right,
with Princess
right.
Peach? You know what I mean? Like it would be
Right.
such a letdown. Like no, go fight. Like just go do stuff.
Right.
Have you ever seen that YouTube channel where it's Superman and Batman sitting at the cafe? That's my
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's
no,
like,
no,
dude,
exactly
I feel
what-
you. He's like, I would just. Superman's like, I'm Superman, but I'm Batman. That's all Batman ever says.
But I'm-
Because of
so-
Batman. Yeah.
So you briefly brought up The Boys, and this is almost definitely going to get us segueing briefly back into politics. But are you
Yeah.
watching this latest season of The Boys or now?
I stopped after season 2.
Okay. Okay.
People say it
I
gets
have-
better, is what I've heard.
Yeah, it was. I've heard a lot. It's on my list. It's definitely on my list to rewatch. But I have another show coming up before that I have to start soon. That I'm looking forward to. But I'm interested to hear your thoughts on The Boys, nevertheless, because I would always take your opinion over someone else's.
Yeah, I'll keep it relatively apolitical. Certainly, this latest season, more overtly than ever in the past, feels like a direct allegory to the state of U.S. affairs, and it's kind of funny that it was all written before a lot of these most recent political developments actually happened, because it feels so much like he's stealing from events of the last few months, and really, it's just one of those cases of reality mirroring entertainment rather than the opposite. They just couldn't have known it was written.
Yeah.
But this series finale is going to be airing in theaters, and I was very sad to see that the 2 theaters nearest to me are fully sold out. And
Oof.
yeah, that would have been a cool experience getting to see a TV show finale in theaters.
When is the finale airing?
Tuesday, or technically Wednesday at 3 in the morning.
Oh, so I have no chance to catch up between now and then.
How much of a following does that show have now? Is it building up? Is it getting bigger? Or?
It feels pretty big. I know a ton of people that watch that show.
Huh.
Yeah, I think it's definitely Amazon's biggest show right now. It's been listed as their number 1 show each time I open up Prime.
As you were saying that, though, I was like, because you were talking about video game, I was trying to come up with more movies that were based on video games, and it was just like, and it made me think of the Minecraft movie, which was like one of the times I felt really old. Like, what? I was like totally lost watching the Minecraft movie. So
I still
That
haven't
was a
seen
rough
that one, actually.
experience.
Yeah.
That's all right. It's okay. It's all right.
okay, so
It's
it's
okay.
okay to not know what's going on when you're watching that. It's like, oh my god.
No, that movie didn't know where it was going.
I
It
like
didn't
the
know what
lava
it was
chicken
doing.
though. Lava chicken was
Yeah.
funny.
But again, who's the target demo for that? Kids that are just screwing around in Minecraft anyway.
Yeah.
So it's totally fine that nobody knew what was going on because they don't know what they're doing half the time. They're just having fun.
I just figured that out about those whole, like, the Godzilla, like, the new all those movies, they're totally for that. They're for throwing on when nobody wants to watch a movie. You just, like, you look up, it's like, "Oh, Godzilla's like, bleh," like, killing something with lasers. You're like, "That's kinda cool." Then you go back to and then you can, like, I don't care what the plot is, they're fixating a
Yep.
mecha arm to King Kong for some reason. I don't know why. That's
Doesn't
awesome.
matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. It
And then
doesn't have to matter.
that started my post about all the different Ryan Goslings, like like the guy in the new, he was the helicopter pilot. It's like, that's like the British version of Ryan Gosling. And then like Bradley Cooper's like the American version of Ryan Gosling. And Ryan Gosling's the Canadian version of Ryan Gosling. Like, he's all over the place. These Ryan Gosling clones.
Have I come here yet to preach the gospel of Clarkson's Farm? Have I done that on this podcast yet?
Heard that? No.
Okay, so long story short, Top Gear was the biggest syndicated show in the world. Jeremy Clarkson punches a producer. He gets fired.
Okay.
Him, James May, Richard Hammond, they all leave the show. Amazon shoots up, says, we'll give you $100 million for the Grand Tour, and we'll give each of you the opportunity to do a spin-off show. So they do the Grand Tour, whatnot. Jeremy Clarkson goes, I don't know. I own 1,000 acres in the UK. My farmer just quit. Why don't I farm it myself? Season 1 is him with 1,000 acres of farmland buying a Lamborghini tractor and saying, I don't know, I'll figure it out. It's hysterical. It's funny. By season 4, it is entrenched in the pain and suffering of actually farming and owning a farm and going through it and the struggles and the farms that are dying and the pigs that are dying and getting attached to the animals. And like, it became such a good casual farm. Like you just put it on. There's no plot. It's just this year in the farm.
Just life.
It's just life of the. So by season 1, if season 1 is jokes and bits and you can tell it's staged, season 4 is it rained for 3 weeks. We lost $30,000. I mean, it's just pain, but it's farming. It's real farming. Season 5 comes out June 3rd, and my brother and I already have a night scheduled. We're watching it together. Like, it is one of those anyone you know can watch shows. You don't have to be any demo. You can be an older person, younger person. It's just.
What's the name of that again?
Clarkson's Farm, Amazon Prime.
Clarkson's Farm.
And it is the Jeremy Clarkson.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I don't know who all these people are, though. I mean, the whole Top Gear thing passed me by, too. But go ahead.
No, that's fine. You don't need to know any background about him to enjoy this at all.
One of my guilty pleasures, a show where you don't need any type of background, just throw on any episode from any season and you'll be fine. I do this whenever I'm cleaning my room. I throw on the show Hoarders, and it makes me feel better about things as I throw them away.
Oh gosh!
And I just see these people living in piles of garbage, and I'm like, yeah, throw away that shit. Yeah.
Every time somebody comes to fix the furnace or whatever, I always ask them about the weird stuff they see, and they're just like, oh my god, you don't know about some of these houses, and it's like they just have like an alleyway you can get through to get to the furnace, and I'm just like, how far are we along on this? And he's like, oh, you're fine. This is a lived-in house.
I lived with a partner for a period of time where when I first got there, you had the alleyway. You had the alleyway to get there. The basement,
wow.
You could walk to the back door. The garage, you could open. and the shed in the backyard you could open. And it took 5 years to not just clean, but deprogram
Yeah.
and get like it wasn't just the stuff. It was but what if we need that?
Ugh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'd never seen that before. So I can't watch Hoarders because it gives me like it
But
gives
you
me
got
post
somebody
traumatic
through that. Like, you actually walk somebody through it?
to this and now I can tell you to this day, I'm not, even though I'm not with that person, vertical shelving, clean floor space, fully walkable rooms, fully accessible garage, like we went through a whole philosophy of, you can still keep and value things, and we're going to store them efficiently within the means that we have. And it was a full transformation. And that person, I think, it went through a lot of personal change and growth as well to get there. But it took
Yeah. What what
years.
okay, that's kinda fascinating. I mean, what is it, just growing up with hardship and then you have things and you become afraid? Or, I mean, what thoughts are there on that?
Grandma and grandpa, you couldn't walk through their basement.
Yeah.
Mom and dad, you couldn't walk through their
Well, that
basement.
was like, my grandma was we used to it's like, "Oh, we gotta straighten these nails. That's a thing to do." And, it's like, "So, we're gonna keep these," and I have a hard time throwing, like, screws away. It's like, so I've got drawers
Yeah.
and stuff. I can walk through my house, but I mean, and I actually do try to make things out of the boards I keep in my garage from time to time, but it's sort of like it's like I do have a hard time throwing away things that I thought they might be
No,
useful,
this
but
is like we discovered 3 power drills because one would get lost in the back of the garage, and then another one would get buried in the back of the garage, and then another one would get buried in the back of the garage, and then there's the one that was currently in use. So it was like that level of like yeah, no, so there was you're dealing with generational I think a generational pattern of for those people when I watch that, I feel bad because it's mental health.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
100%. But to your point, keep watching it, keep making it an
Yeah.
awareness thing,
yeah,
keep using that show 100%. Let other people see it. Like never close the door on that. You know what I mean? Like
So
let that continue to get out there.
one of the reasons that I value it is because I actually identify as someone who has at least mild hoarderism. It's not to the nearly to the degree where it's like, oh my god, you have to walk through an alley to get to your things. But I really do relate to that feeling of, oh, what if I need this later? And a lot of time it's just sentimentality more
yeah,
than anything
okay.
else. Like, what if 10 years down the road, it's cool to have this object that's a keepsake from this time I did this,
Yep.
and
Well,
Everything was from her dad, her grandmother, her
yeah,
aunt,
okay,
or someone in their life, someone no longer present with them.
yeah,
Like it's hard to let that go. And that's why I don't tease them too much because it's like, no,
well, yeah,
I
yeah,
can understand
100%.
that perspective.
Well, and as a writer too, I know, because it's always I constantly am trying to write down. It's like I hoard my ideas, but it's like objects too. There's things I haven't seen in a while. I
Mm.
pick it up, and then
yeah,
can write
yeah,
from it. So I have a hard time throwing
yeah.
it away for those reasons too, because it's charged. It's a charged
Mhm.
nostalgia element. It's like a relic I can use to create a story from, and it's like it's never just one story. In 10 years, I'll do that story the same way. So I
So
think there's something like that tied in.
so imagine the irony of one partner, her, coming from generations of we keep things to where my mom every 5 years would say everything in the house needs to go and would redo the kitchen. I told my mother, I said, at your funeral, we're not going to have any sentimental items for you because they're only going to be 5 years old by the time when you die because you keep throwing everything out to the point of like, she would just go through and be like, oh, we don't need that anymore. So I came in with this perspective of nothing is sentimental coming into a household where, oh, is that an original OG
Like, yeah,
Kenner?
but I only have like this one left. I've got C-3PO around here somewhere too, but that's it.
No, so I don't even have that. I don't even have toys from when I was young.
Wow.
No, I don't, because mom would just, all right, we don't need that anymore. Donate it or give it to the next gen or move it on. Like, so for me, sentimental is hard to even think of. For her,
Oh,
sentimental is
boy.
everything. It was
That's
an
kinda
absolute,
interesting.
My
That
oh
is really
yeah,
interesting.
my
Yeah.
dad
yeah,
my dad is philosophically an ascetic, but he lives in a house with 2 people who both do enjoy their, material comforts. So even while he wants to get rid of things and knows that we have, arguably too many things, we kinda just casually as a family maintain the, what we have. We don't
Yeah.
really build onto the collection too much, but
if it's
we yeah,
livable and it's
yeah,
lovely and it's not getting
yeah,
in the way, it's not a problem. It's when you're
yeah,
navigating the stack of newspapers is
Yeah.
when you start
yeah.
to have to question.
It
What?
It was funny recently spending time with my uncle because he's on the exact opposite side of the spectrum as my dad. My dad spent time traveling through Asia, spent time in monasteries, came back a completely changed person, and
Mm.
really, really is good at detaching from physical objects. My uncle really seems so much more in common with me in that regard. Like genetically, we are just both the type who have sentimental attachments to the things in
Yes.
our lives and keep things around so that
Yeah.
10 years, 15 years down the road, we might pull it out and say, "Oh, wow, that was."
I get
Well, if
sentimental attachments to, like, a pen, like, oh, and it's
Yeah,
just, like,
yeah,
weird things, but it's
yeah, me
sort of like
too.
but it's a good feeling. I don't wanna throw that feel I don't wanna betray this pen. I
Yeah.
got an A on that test when I took it with this pen, so
yeah, but if we're gonna since this is gonna be the vulnerable episode where we all share, I
Oh, almost.
my struggle actually, I'm the opposite. I like things that are like, I buy G-Shock watches. I
Mm,
can't buy fancy expensive watches. I buy G-Shocks because I
G-Shock.
know I can always buy another one. It's super dependable, and if I lose it and or break it, who cares? I'm gonna have another one in 2 days.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'm the type of person that almost aims for falling in love with objects that are easily replaceable, knowing loss and change happens. So like I've almost become patterned to be like sentimentality for me is more the idea of the object than the object, the durability of it, the function of it. And if I lose it, I'll have another one in 24 hours.
Do you remember
Oh,
when G-Shocks were a status symbol? I will never forget that. Like 5th and 6th grade, if you had a G-Shock, you had it made. Like,
I'm still living in that era, man. I'm still living in that era, man. I
I
got my
wanna
status symbols all on my desk.
I wanna add one though too, like a thing an example from our life because our kids, we got them so that on, like, cardboard boxes, they were making them into doll houses, and so they were, like, spit and it was, like, good. You're using your hands, you're making these doll houses, you're painting them. Well, it just got to the point where we had too many doll houses, so we're just like, "Okay, we're gonna go take them out into the yard, we're gonna take pictures so you remember these doll houses, and then we're gonna
Mhm.
throw them away." So I think, though so you can kinda navigate that attachment,
yeah.
by saying, "Let's handle this reasonably and respectfully. We'll take this, do this. It'll be this kind of ceremony." And then we're clear. And it's like, of course, we haven't gone back to look at those pictures. But
No,
it's
but
like,
I love that though,
Yeah.
because later in life when they're adults and they're going through that stage, they'll be able to see like physical hard pictures are a real thing. Like
yeah,
there's
well, these
value
are
to
all
that.
digital. But that brings me to like digital hoarding, which I guess people haven't really talked about yet because I worry about I try to like intellectually be like, nobody's gonna want to see your hard drive, after you're gone. But it's like I need to preserve like every rough draft of everything I ever wrote.
Well, my brother and I have actually started that process. We've begun a family archive. We're collecting physical photos, but we're also collecting VHS tapes, mini VHS, and SD cards and hard drives, so that we can begin to print and catalog those
Hmm.
early childhood years in the digital era that we don't have on physical film because we want to keep that. So
Ah, all
that's
that stuff
something that we're trying to
deteriorates
do.
though. It
I,
deteriorates though, right?
The
some
digital stuff deteriorates. Yes.
Is something
So we're
else that my uncle and I are in total agreement on. He has his entire digital life compiled onto like 20 different terabyte hard drives
Oh,
and
yeah,
and
I do that.
basically says this is all that I am as a person and everything that I've been involved with for the last few decades. And man, I couldn't relate more to that because the amount that I have given to my devices over the years, it really will be a quite complete representation of who I am and what kind of person I've been throughout my life by the
Boy,
time all is said and done.
that's an interesting concept though too, because okay, this brings me back to that idea of during World War II when the bombers came back, they're just like, where do we need to put the armor? So all the bombers that came back, they're like, well, here's where they're all shot up. And then they said, well, we need to put the armor on the spots where they're not shot up. And they're like, why? It's like, because those are the planes that didn't come back, right? And it's just sort of like that inversion, because like that digital thing that we leave behind, there's that other aspect of our life is arguably the more important one, right? I think this is kind of a we're getting into kind of like some territory of
Yeah.
like the essence of our reality, how we're going to be perceived in the future. I mean, I've been writing stories about like the years from when my wife and I got our house and the kids were born and just kind of preserving it that way to share with the kids to kind of walk them through the process of what our life was like then. But that'll allow me to throw some things away. I don't know, but it
Yeah, but
also
you know how much I would appreciate that from my parents?
zero.
Like no one gets old and goes, "Oh boy, I wish I knew less about my childhood or my parents or my
Yeah.
history." Like I don't feel like that happens to anyone, unless they've gone through some type of a trauma for it. But like for me,
Yeah.
man, I as my relatives would get older in age, I would just sit and be like, "Tell me about your life. Tell me about your
Yeah,
stories." You know, I can repeat all my grandmother's childhood stories about her first
yeah.
jobs and first places. Like, I love that, and I don't want the family to lose that. So what you're doing, awesome. I love that. Do more of it. Write more down.
Oh,
Have more preserved for them.
well, also too, because now when it's fresh and the kids are still at home, and this is the thing, because I've been reading. It's like I'd had success with getting small press to take my books, but then after a while, I'm like, the only reason I'm trying to get a book published is so I can read it to my kids. I'll just cut out the middleman and read these books to my kids. So for the past 5 years, I've got this stack of books that I've written that I read to them. And so now, yeah, I'm telling like this is what your mommy was going through because my wife's an immigrant, right? And so this is an intense story where she had to come to Wisconsin from Peru in that first year and just
Mhm.
dealing with the cold and all these. And hopefully, I actually have been reading these, and my wife's actually been coming in to listen because this is the first time that's happened where it's the whole family enjoying our story time at night before we go to sleep.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but who cares if the greater world doesn't get to experience it, if your kids
Yes,
love it
that's
and
where
they
I've
get to
Yeah.
come
have
to.
it
Yeah.
and they've like, because what more magic value could you add them? Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, my dad was so cool. He used to write everything down for us and tell us the stories. And here I have a
Yeah.
record of it. And they can
Wow.
show their future partners and their
Yes.
grandkids. Like,
Well, like I said too, because there's secrets in these stories, and there's secret love letters that I put to my kids. They're not even gonna understand until they're adults. So that's my dream, that when I'm gone, they'll crack open this book I wrote for them, and they'll be like, "Daddy left this note for me here." And I just think
so
that makes me
what
happy.
you do realize is post mortem, as you're on to your next plane of existence, the children are going to have a Netflix special called Letters from My Dad. And it's going to be a movie playing
Oh,
through, and it's going to be inspired on your stories.
I
You'll
hope
not
so.
see a dime for it, but they'll be
Yeah.
getting rich.
Oh, I hope they do. That's the other thing. That's the other great thing about being a parent is like, yeah, that's fine. Just take every dollar I ever that comes out of me. I'm happy to
But
take
that would
that.
be the coolest. Honestly, that would be the coolest story. I'd love to see something like that. Like,
Yep.
that tracks. So that, I mean, we don't know. We don't know what we don't know yet, but that could
Yeah,
end up being the
I hope
case.
so. Well,
Everyone could see those letters in the future.
Watership Down is that because he wrote Watership Down. Richard Adams did. Have you ever read? You must have read Watership Down. Have you not read
I
Watership?
have not read Watership Down.
Go read it. Forget the cartoon because the cartoon is terrifying. But get the book. You are gonna love Watership Down. We have to do a Watership Down episode. It is
I
the
can
greatest.
commit to
That
that.
was that was
I
an
will
answer.
read the book and I will
That
get
was, a,
back to you.
that was an answer on Jeopardy yesterday.
Oh, just
Watership
Watership
Down?
Down or
Yeah.
Richard Adams or what was the question? The crazy cartoon that they put out. I mean the terrifying cartoon.
Sometimes the framing of the questions is so convoluted that
Oh
I have a
yeah,
hard time coming
got
up
the
with
book for it.
answers even if
Yeah.
I know them. Like, but yeah, I can tell you that the answer was what is Watership Down.
Well, it's the essence of the book is these rabbits leave a warrant. They have one rabbit that's clairvoyant, and he can tell the warren is going to be destroyed. And so he's like, "We got to leave," you know. And so but then they go into this thing where they find out these other societies that are like authoritarian societies. So again, it ties into politics. And they like become friends with a bird, so they have like the power of the air, but it's all like through nature. It's just you're gonna just love this story. I guarantee you're
I'm
gonna love
already
it.
hooked.
Yeah.
I'm already hooked. I'm already there. I'm
The
already hooked.
clairvoyant rabbit though is the best part of it because he's just and his brother believes him. He's like he always kind of knows, and everybody else is like, and he'll like collapse and have seizures and things. Yeah,
so,
it's cool.
so a book I'd never read, but just watched the TV adaptation of Lord of the Flies
Oh boy, yeah.
was
Mhm.
incredible. It's one of those occasions too where watching the show inspired me to immediately want to go rent and read the book. Um, because
Yeah.
it was so good, so involved, so relatable. Definitely political themes to it for sure.
Mm.
Um,
Oh
but
man, yeah.
yeah,
That
yeah,
must have come out about when the obedience to authority
yeah.
study was going out. It's kind of a response to that, like what'll happen. And I think they actually did some like back before ethical experimentation, I think there are some experiments of taking kids and putting them into tribes and seeing what happened. Which, now it's illegal, but all kinds of stuff like that happened. But yeah, Lord of the Flies is a tough one. It's too accurate for its own good.
There,
I think I
there's
think 10,
times
15 years ago, I might not have believed that things could unfold in that way, but having witnessed this last decade of politics, Lord of the Flies feels entirely too believable.
Yeah. Someone was asking me most recently, they're like, "What's the difference between Dune and Star Wars?" and I said, Star Wars makes you feel good, Dune makes you think, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
There's sometimes where the messaging, I'm just like, oh my goodness. I understand the commentary. I get where we're going. There's a people in the desert that have a valuable resource for the whole galaxy and everybody
Yeah.
wants it. All right, now I'm tracking. Like once you see into it, it's almost like, yeah, this is we're now touching to home. I want to go back to space with the Jedi and the space wizards, and let's
Yeah.
just go back to fantasy for a
Well,
second.
then
How do you
Dune
feel
just
about
never ends.
Avatar?
Huh?
What are your thoughts on Avatar?
Avatar. Yeah. Avatar's a rough one for me. There's a lot of good merit to it. I think it's
Yep.
enjoyable, but again, it's like, okay, it's
Yeah.
here. It's very
Yeah.
here. And I'm like, all right, guys, be a little more subtle.
Yeah.
Like, help me
Yeah.
pretend I know anything about anything, and then walk me there. Like, it's very on the nose.
I was so
It's
surprised.
visual enough that I excuse the utter on the noseness, but that on the noseness is unrelenting.
Visual, beautiful movie. And Avatar Land and Disney's great. Like the way they explore that world's awesome. But like,
Yep.
guys,
Yep.
we get it. You know, you might as well just start. Disney should just start making movies where they're like, this is how we expect you to feel. Like just say it up in the beginning. Like just get it
Yeah.
out of the way. And then because I want to go enjoy the story. You know what I mean? Like I want to, if it's too in the way sometimes, I'm like, all right, it's not a poli-sci class, guys. Like let's just do a
Yeah.
little bit of art.
I want to say I just was so surprised how I had zero interest to see the third movie, and like I watched the first one, and
Yeah.
then like okay, I don't need to see the second. Then we watched it, and I'm like, kind of fun. But then the third one, it's like it just doesn't, and it has no real fandom. That's another weird thing. It's like the biggest movie ever with no fandom. But
Yes.
I've only got 3 minutes
It
left,
is
so
true.
well, and I've got 3 minutes left, so I got to take off in a little bit. But I do want to bring this full circle in a perfect way because we talked about Hail Mary with Ryan Gosling. So go watch the Papyrus sketch. Because he doesn't know. Joe doesn't know the papyrus. Do you know the
Oh no,
Papyrus
is that the one
I
where
don't
they
think
talk
so.
about the font in Avatar?
Yeah, it's Ryan Gosling. He's like sitting there and he's
Ah.
just so funny. He's like, "What's wrong? Nothing." He's like nothing. He's like, biggest budget movie in the world. They just used the papyrus font for the
Yeah.
title. And then he's like, he's
Yep.
driving around. He's like, some graphic designer knocking over flowers in a garden. He's going like this. And then he's like, I know what you did. He shows up at the guy's house. He's outside. I know what you did. So go watch the Papyrus sketch on Saturday Night Live. I think that's hilarious. And
It
actually,
was one of their best sketches.
oh, and my appreciation for Ryan Gosling went right through the roof because he sells it so hard and he's so funny. He's just pissed. And I'm kind of pissed too. He's like, they just highlighted it, turned it into papyrus, called it good. The second one, though, they talk about the sequel because they did change it. They did change the font, but it doesn't look all that different from papyrus. But
No.
it's like they just put it in bold. Okay. All right. I should probably get going. I got my other thing to do. This has been a pleasure. I love it. Yeah, let's do it more.
Always great. Always great to see
Good
you
to see you,
guys.
Walter.
Yep, and make sure you read Watership Down. We got to do a Watership Down episode. There's multiple movies about it too we can do. Awesome.
Understood.
All right, see you guys.
You, Walter.
Bye-bye.
Now, Joe, I'm curious if you agree with my theory, and I would have loved to run this by Walter too. But I'm curious if you agree with my theory that Ryan Gosling and Channing Tatum could switch names, and the world would be a slightly more coherent place as a result.
They could switch names.
Yes, they should switch names. They just.
Why is that? What is your? I am lost a little bit. Walk me through. So they just changed names.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Ryan Gosling looks like more of a Channing Tatum, and Channing Tatum looks more like a Ryan Gosling. I've felt this way for a while.
Oh, I can see.
I-
Now that you say it, I can see it. I do
I
see
think
it a
it would-
little bit.
I think it would restore order, frankly.
Would it scratch an itch in your brain that's just there, and you want to just get that itch out of the way? Then I'm all for it. We'll start the GoFundMe or the Change.org. We'll absolutely do it. Get them to switch.
Change.org petition. That would be so fucking funny.
We'll go for it. We'll absolutely go for it. No, I love doing this podcast. You and Walter are great. I love just being able to take a break from life and just this is one of those joy moments, man, where it's like, oh, let's just talk about something good. Let's just go off on something we enjoy, or even if we don't like it, we don't like it. We're critiquing out of love, and just like I enjoy that. So I always have a fun here, man. This is a blast.
Yeah, thank you as always for joining. It's always great to have you on, my dude. And one other
is.
thing that would be fun to talk about, since I know we're both dinosaur fans. They just came out with this new Netflix documentary on the history of the dinosaurs. And man, every year or so, I just go through this phase of being so utterly fascinated by the fact that dinosaurs existed, and we so nearly didn't discover them at all. And that's so crazy.
So can
So
I tell you?
so
Can I
crazy.
tell you a story related to that?
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
I am officially on the apps, like the apps for the people that are looking for people to find. And I've never done the apps before. I only started the past couple weeks. And one of the things I'm realizing is that like so many profiles say things like, I love travel, I love hiking, I love exploring, I love going places. And I'm sitting there like, how do I say I like dinosaurs and trains? Because I'm not interested in going on a hike. But if someone came to me and was like, do you want to watch a documentary on Netflix about dinosaurs? I'd be like, sold. You've got my attention. I'll buy dinner. We're good. So how do I say that without sounding exactly what that sounds like it makes me sound like?
Dude, I was captivated when the first night I was watching it till like 5 in the morning. Like they have like
Oh man.
cliffhangers at the end of each episode, and I'm like, what happens to the dinos next?
Oh man. Oh, I'm gonna be so you've just taken like 6 hours or 8 hours of my life away. Because I know I'm gonna watch this now. I know I'm gonna watch this. That's good. Next time I come on, it's gonna be the first thing I talk about.
Perfect. Hell yeah.
Absolutely first thing I talk about.
Yeah, sounds good to me. I could go off on dinosaurs. I learned quite a bit from this. Like I didn't realize just quite how expansive the history was and how little coincidence there was between some of the biggest name dinosaurs people talk about.
Someone said it might help narrow down your matches. That's true.
Brandon is my guy.
I like computers, trains, and dinosaurs.
Oh, I
I'm at
did
that
want to
point where everything is funny now. Sorry.
I did briefly want to respond to your comment earlier about The Boys, Brandon, and how it's misogynistic. Yes, it is, but I think a lot of the point there is that you're supposed to hate the misogynistic characters, and
Oh, right.
yes, some of the yeah, like, there a lot of the superheroes are, like, really shitty human beings and are kinda hard to watch at moments, but, like,
That's the point,
yeah,
though.
that's a
It's
lot of the
this.
yeah, a lot of the fun for me is, like, you know that there's just no nobility to them at all, and the Aquaman of this universe is trying to coerce people into sexual situations, and it's fucking
I mean, just
yeah,
just give billionaires superpowers,
yeah.
and that's what that movie feels like.
Right,
Like, that's
exactly,
really
yeah.
what I mean, like, that's what that show feels like. Like, so there's a huge the one thing I give credit to The Boys for, it was the first show to really come out and be like, "Oh, superheroes would be trash. I don't know why you think they'd be idols. These people would be horrible if given that
Right.
ability." Like, "Oh, I'm stronger than you. There's virtually no consequence to anything." Oh, come on. Like, you can see a lot of people taking that and just really running the wrong way.
And also the obviousness of the US military getting involved and realizing, "Wait, we can monetize this." Like,
If the government or military can monetize it, it will be a thing, it will be sold, it will be manufactured, it will become legal somehow.
right.
Yeah, very good at that, very good at that.
So I'm curious to, get involved in this, movie group that you've been doing recently.
Yeah, no, so I find it kinda cathartic. What happens is, on Thursdays, it's actually really great. We got Read Unlimited, which I'm not plugging, I'm not sponsored by, but it
Yep.
takes the budget away. You know what I mean? Like, it's a
Yep.
fixed budget, so we're not worried. You show up to the movie theater, you tell them what seat you want, you sit, you go in for free. So now I might be more inclined to buy a drink or a popcorn or something because the ticket was already free as far as I'm concerned. A little bit of girl math there, even though I'm paying per month for it. I'm just not thinking about it. Um, and then we go to Buffalo Wild Wings because on Thursday nights, it's buy 10, get 10.
Oh,
So I'm
shit.
getting 20 wings, 20 boneless for the cost of 10. The apps are bottomless. So you buy one tray and they'll just keep refilling it. So, of course, fried cheese and wings. Are you kidding? I'm there. So it's just this ritual of going to watch a movie and then immediately having somewhere to decompress it. And
That's
that's
awesome.
what I like about it is you get that initial just reaction right off the top. It's great. It's wonderful. I think people should do it. If you wanted to stop by, you can hit me up and I can let you know exactly the details.
Yeah, definitely. For all who don't know, Joe is one of the few guests I've had on who I actually know in the real world, so, yeah, that would be awesome to, participate.
No,
Thank
hit
you.
me up offline. I'll make sure you get in.
Perfect. Yeah, sounds good to me.
Cool.
Anything else fun that you've been watching recently, or you want to bring this to a close?
I'm looking forward to Clarkson's Farm.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to Scary Movie 7 coming out. I'm looking forward to that, so I'm going to be excited about that. I'm looking forward to. I just saw Mortal Kombat. That was great. There's a couple other this summer. There's nothing I'm watching per se, but I'm actively getting ready for. Ted Lasso is coming out with another season. I'm kind of
Oh, yeah.
stoked for that. I think Silo's about to drop a new one. Slow Horses has been great. That's one of my favorites. Clarkson's Farm. I'm having a watch party. Like that one, I'm so excited for. So like everything is pending for me. I have excitement towards things and nothing yet to quite say. If you
Ted
get me at the end of the summer, I'll have so much to cover.
Ted Lasso is a kind of built for me show in a lot of ways because I've never been a fan of sports. So the idea of this dude coming in knowing nothing about the sport that he's coaching, so it's so good. The premise is perfect.
But he knows people and how to love on them, support them, and grow them. That's what
Yeah,
I'm the
he's just
same
a
way.
good guy. Like you just seeing him be a generally decent dude is so much of the draw of that show.
It's lovely to watch. That
really is.
show is just put
Yeah.
it on, enjoy it, and watch it.
Yep, absolutely.
So I can't wait. I will trash companies for doing a really bad job, but Ted Lasso is just knock out of the park every season. I loved every single one. I'm just excited to see what they got coming. So yeah, I think that's about it for me on my radar. But yeah, just happy to be here. Excited for this summer. There's going to be a lot to watch and a lot to talk about.
One other show I'm curious to get your take on real quick, since they
Of
just
course.
came out with a new season and you're a sci-fi guy. Is For All Mankind on your radar?
No, and the only reason I'll tell you why is I kind of have fallen out of love with sci-fi drama,
Okay.
and I enjoy more sci-fi adventure because sci-fi drama I feel like becomes a drag with everything going on in the world and life. I've started to mentally gravitate towards the silly, the stupid, the fun, the enjoyable because it's like I spend so much screen time going, "Oh, that sucks." I like
Yeah.
screen time where I can go, "Oh, that was just great." So for me, I haven't had a chance, but it does merit watching. It looks like a show that I think when life calms down merits watching.
I think there's a good balance, and you're right that the dramatic aspect is probably what's least interesting about the show for me, and
Mhm.
what's most intriguing is when it actually does feel pretty adventurous, and
Cool.
also just the philosophical component behind what if we'd never what if the space race had never ended, and what if we had continued funding it in the same way that we had been throughout the Cold War? Like most likely would be on Mars by now with permanent habitations there.
Oh, for
It's
sure. That's so cool. Okay, so
yeah.
that I might like to see. That I
Yep.
genuinely might like to watch. That would be interesting.
Yeah, the alternate history aspect of it is really well done, and yeah, I think you'd get a kick out of that one for sure.
I think I might. I too have to wrap because I have a 3 I have to hit, but I
Yeah.
just wanted to say this was fantastic. Dude, I love these. I love coming on these. Whenever you need a guest, just hit me up.
Awesome. Sounds good, my guy. Nice talking to you, dude.
It was good to
And
see you,
thank you
Ben.
everyone for joining. Bye, guys.
Yeah, man. Later.